So, have you ever thought of brain injury and being out of character? And being out of character is not just, oh, I moved this way to my right, or, oh, I moved this way to my left. No, it can mean also to your body and how everything relates to you as an individual. Well, if you stick around, which I know you will, you'll find out what was going on with me. I'm Astra, and this is Astra's brain injury. So, we all know, well, not we all know, but if this is your first time coming, my MVA, one of my first for my brain injury, was back in November of 2014. And it was a catastrophic accident because I had to learn a whole lot of things what I took for granted that was easy for me to do on a day-to-day basis. All right. So, to give you some perspective with my brain injury, I wasn't diagnosed with my brain injury until the following year. And it's when I went to my original practitioner that I used to see, before I saw my other one. And when he saw me coming down the way and I'm, taking my time and I'm going like this, and I'm holding on to the sides and holding on, to someone to help to support me, he was like, he's looking at me, he's like, that's not the same Astra. And then now, when I had a conversation with him, or I was trying to have a conversation with him, he's looking at me like, wow, you've got a brain injury. So this is how I knew now that I had a brain injury. And this helped to put a lot of things in perspective for me when I did remember it. So here's some things. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about things that was out of character for me. Now, I had a scanner and a receipt. Here was one thing, and I think it was my children or somebody that found it. I had put it into the fridge. What does a receipt and a scanner have to do with being in the fridge? Nothing. We all know nothing. But my mind was not working properly. There was a huge disconnect with everything all around me and what I needed to be doing. And so, they're telling me, you put the receipt and the scanner in the fridge. And I'm like, for me, I didn't even know this, y'all. It's because I'm going through a diary that I had to be keeping. And that is how I know that I had put the scanner in the fridge with the receipt. Another thing was I was unable to speak coherently. Now, I'm a talker and I love talking. And the thing is, my cousin, I'll give you this example. My cousin went to my mother and he's like, Auntie, Astra's talking to me and I don't understand one word of what she's saying. And all I'm doing is shaking my head and smiling and saying, yeah, okay, okay. And here am I thinking that when I'm talking to him, I'm making sense. But out of my mouth is just coming garble, garble, garble. And, he's being kind in the sense that, we're family and he's just like, uh-huh, uh-huh. And I'm thinking he's understanding me. And so, I'm here having a conversation and, I get tired now and I'm gone. But he's telling my mother, he's like, Auntie, I couldn't understand a word what Astor was saying. She's talking to me and all I'm doing is just smiling and nodding and shaking my head. God bless his soul for that, and not making me feel like what you talking about, Willis? I don't understand the words you saying. You know what I mean? And so these kind of things is out of character for me, because when you are a well-versed individual and you can have coherent conversations, and you can have whether it's titillating, whether it is, the word is eluding me right now, but you can have conversations that are stimulating to your mind. And then all of a sudden now you can't, that's out of your character. That's completely out of your character. And then now I was unable to express myself properly. I couldn't express, like, I'm feeling this kind of way, or I'm feeling that kind of a way, um my practitioners had said I looked dead. Like, when you look at my eyes, they looked like there was nobody there. The lights was not on. Like, I'm here, I'm present, but the lights was not on at all for me. And that's something that is completely out of character, because I am an animated individual. I love to talk with my hands, and then, to see that I would just sit there and I would just be like, that is completely out of character for who I am as an individual. And being unable to express yourself, sorry, it's a very trying thing, because how do we express ourselves? Somebody comes in and you can flinch away. Like, stop that. Nah, I'm not handling that. No, I don't want that. And, we can open our mouth to say these things, and we can say it strongly, or we can say it softly, or we can, you can stand firm with what you have and what you know and what you like and you don't like. But when I had my brain injury, when it first started, I was not. You'll hear me use the term a lot, that um, I was like a child. Even though I am a big nanny goat of a woman, I'm like a child, a little child. And the thing is, I am thinking that I am able to do these, my daily tasks and all that kind of thing, but I'm unable to do it, because I knew within myself what I was able to do before, but I'm unable to do what I want to do, you know? And so, as I said, that is a huge thing, being unable to express yourself properly. And the next thing is, I was a weeper. I would cry for anything. If you just walked across the way, I could cry. Or you just put your hand to your head, that would set me off my nerves. So I was at one end, I was very weepy. At the other end, I could just, go from 0 to 100 in like a second flat. I wasn't aggressive where I would, ooh, let's put up a fight, a hands and fight. No, but it just sets me off my nerves. And, that's out of character for me, because I'm not that kind of an individual. I'm one that I will take a stand and be like, nah, not a bit of that. This is not how this is going to go down, you know? And so when I would see that people can come at me and I can't fight back in the sense of my words is not coming out coherently, I'm, you know, all of a sudden I would just start bawling. It is very hard. on you is very hard and it's very scary because you want to know, well, not you, I wanted to know, is this how I'm going to be for the rest of my life? I mean, I'm still easy to cry, still now, but not the way that I was before. Like any second word, boom, I could just bawl. Like I could be sitting down to eat and I could just cry. Like it was just amazing how tears never eluded me. They were always present and ready for me. I was very weepy. And that is so out of character for me. As I said, I'm not a weepy individual, but this brain injury has moved in and it's like, hey, girl, this is how you're going to be now. And I'm just like, oh my word, I can't believe this, you know? So that was really out of character for me. We all watched a movie and or you watch a scene and it's touching to you, and the tear might come and you dry your eye afterwards and you're all good. But for me, it was just coming and it was keep coming and it won't stop. So I could not control my emotions in that sense. I would just bawl. Like I would just bawl. And that is so out of character for me. As I said, I can go from you put your hand to your head, sets me off my nerve. That's out of character for me. Why is that movement going to set you off your nerves? But when you have a brain injury, you cannot control how these things take place. You cannot control how it happens. I mean, I remember, my youngest, he was little, he was less than 2, and he's bouncing all over the place, bouncing, because he's a happy child. And so he's bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. And I'm like, sweet Jesus, help me, because his bouncing, and I don't know if it's the movement and how my eyes was processing to my brain. And, it's like, it wasn't even like stranger danger, but it was just like, oh my word, this is too much. I'm being overloaded. So the alarm bells is going up, because it was too much on everything for me. And, another thing is that was completely out of character for me was stuttering. I never stuttered. I was not a stutterer. And here am I trying to talk. I don't even want to like try and give you an example because I don't even know how that was going to go. But I was a stutterer and I never stuttered before. This is completely out of character for me, and so when I'm trying to say a word, it is coming out stuttering. Or, and here's another thing that I found, which was out of character for me, is I was repeating things over and over and over again. So I would tell you, I'm going to drink some water now. I would turn around and tell you, I'm going to drink some water now. And turn around again and still tell you, I'm going to drink some water now. And I would repeat myself. And I found even in my diary taking that I was doing, I found that I was repeating myself. Like I have a sentence and it's like my brain glitched and I would repeat it 2, 3 times. So that was something that was completely out of character for me. My bodily functions changed. That is out of character for me. Like, how your body works like clockwork. Boom, 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 boom. But all of a sudden now you've got a brain injury and everything is just like you're trying to grasp. Like they've got you playing a game with your eyes closed and everything is dangling all around or swinging in front of you and you don't know and you have to try and grasp it to bring it in, to rein it in. I could not even control my bodily functions because, for instance, like if you've seen my other videos where I'm talking about, I had to set a reminder for myself to go to the bathroom to pee. because I would go throughout the day and not realize I didn't pee. So my body was not signaling to my brain, oh, I need to go pee. And so I had to set alarms on my watch to go to the bathroom to pee. I had to do this. And I had to set an alarm even for my youngest to get him into bed, because it's like you're so unaware of time. Well, not you, me. I keep saying you, but I mean me. I was so unaware of time. And, it's like I blink my eyes and I'm like, it's midnight. And I'm just like, what? And my little one is bouncing, 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 bouncing. Because as children, when they are little and they don't get to sleep, they're bouncing, 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 bouncing all over the place until they crash and then they're out. And I'm like, what is this for me? I didn't, what time is it? So I didn't even realize all these things. So all of these different factors was out of character for me, so it's hard, y'all. I'm not going to tell you it's an easy walk in the park. It's a hard road. It's a hard, hard road. And so with that, I'm going to cut it short now. Hopefully this is short. But there's more. There's more out of character stuff that I can sit here and talk about. My throat is getting sore. I can feel it's gonna go hoarse now. But and that was another thing. My voice goes hoarse just for nothing. I could be drinking water. I could be sitting down talking. I could be sleep, wake up. Anything, eat, voice is hoarse. And it's as if I was screaming at the top of my lungs and now my voice is hoarse. But I wasn't doing that. And so that is something that was out of character too as well. So there's a lot of things that became out of character for me with this brain injury. And I would say to y'all, if it's you that's going through the brain injury, let me know. Or if you are the one that is the caregiver and you're watching the one with the brain injury, let me know. Like, what have you noticed? Maybe, that could jog my memory. I don't know if it would jog my memory, but that could jog, tell me, and then I can go look and see if it was in my diary. And that's another thing. If y'all keep a diary, if you can, as things take place and you can write it down, whether it's years later or months later, you can go back and look at that and be like, whoa, I didn't know I was doing that before, because I have a lot of, whoa, I didn't know I did that before. I've got a lot of that. That's why I'm giving y'all a little blow by blow of things of what is going on with me. Because there was a lot, y'all. I've got years of notation that I have. And so I'll be sharing this with y'all because, as I said, I started this channel because I did not see from the person's perspective, like how I'm doing this now, because there is many of us that is out there that has a brain injury. It doesn't matter how we got the brain injury, but we have it now. It's our best friend now. And it is not even our best friend, but it's a part of who we are now. And so I wanted to see if there was people out there who was like me, because I'll give you this example before I go. I was in speech therapy, group therapy. Sorry, I'm drinking some water. And when I was sitting down in there, because, I was in a lot of different therapies, y'all. And when I was sitting in group therapy and they were having us to be, introducing ourselves and, to be reading out loud, and we're all reading and we're not making sense. We're not making sense about what is being said. And when I looked, I was like, my eyes just went really big. Can you imagine? I know because I got big eyes, but they went big. And I was like, they're like me. And that made me just want to bawl. Like I did start to, cry. And because I was like, oh my gosh, there's people out there like me because when you're the only one, it's hard. It is hard. And when you see others that are like you or similar like you, it helps with the validation of, okay, this brain injury is, I'm not alone. There is others out there who has a brain injury like me. So that was, my little story there that I wanted to share. So please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell so y'all can get notified. And I really thank you for taking the time and spending it with me. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. And with that, I shall take my leave now and say bye.